In this video, we're going to look at the top 8 mistakes that Dungeon Masters make. These are the things that make players quit games. Hey, Luke Hart here. So today I'm going to share what I consider to be the top 8 mistakes that Dungeon Masters make. Now, you can either use this information to improve your games, or if you don't like your players, make them quit. I suggest the former. Number 8. When the DM has a favorite player. You know, that player who gets the Hand of Vecna, a powerful artifact, at level 5? Or the player whose PC never dies because when she's getting close to 0 hit points, all of the enemies suddenly start rolling 1s. Or the player who gets a pass on the rules, but the DM makes all of the other players follow them. Yeah, that sort of stuff pisses off the non-favorite players. So how about we don't show favoritism in our games? Number 7, running a group that is just too big. Here's the thing, when you're running a group that has over 6 players, but especially if you're approaching 8 to 10 players, lots of problems start to pop up. First, players and their characters get less and less individual attention. Players have to wait a lot in between their actions, and they run the chance of getting bored. Another thing you're going to find is that you get a lot more cross-table chatter among all of the different players, and that makes it difficult for other players to follow what's going on in the game. And it makes it really hard for the DM to talk over those players who are chatting to make other players hear them. That is, in my experience, quite frustrating. At the end of the day, you're going to be much better off by either turning players away from the game in order to preserve quality, or starting up a second game. Otherwise, if the quality of the game is lowering because you just have too many players, then you're probably going to find some of your players leaving the game, and it might be the good players leaving and not the ones that you would rather have leave. Oh, by the way, I've been a Dungeon Master since high school, and I make weekly D&D videos to help Dungeon Masters improve their games. So, if you want to level up your game, consider subscribing. Number 6, not giving your players choices that matter and/or railroading. They're both kind of similar. Check this out. Players want their choices to matter in the game. And they need to be meaningful choices, not just what to order at the Sloshing Boot Tavern. For instance, if there is a Goblin King terrorizing the countryside, there shouldn't only be one solution to that problem.
Okay, we negotiate with the Goblin King so that this can be resolved peacefully.
Nope, he won't meet with you. He sends assassins to kill you.
Fine, we'll get the kobolds and then they can help us fight the goblins.
Nope, the kobolds are busy, making pottery. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Then let's go back to the goblin lair and just kill them.
Excellent! You kill them all, you get all of their loot, and you guys gain a level.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic.
You see, if it doesn't really matter what the players want to do because you've already decided how the story is going to turn out, why are you even playing Dungeons & Dragons? You should be writing a book. Hey, real quick, let me know down in the comments what you think the top mistake DMs make is. Number 5, not making there be consequences for player actions. Oh yeah, you guys go in there and you kill the merchant and you steal his daughter and you flip off the guards and you tell the king to shove it, and you know, everybody's totally cool with that because you guys are just so awesome. Come on, give me a break. A world without consequences is a world that your players won't believe in. Make your game a living, breathing world for them. Make it believable. Make it memorable. Not just some Adventurers Gone Wild freak show. Unless, of course, that's the game you all want to play, and if you do, then there's nothing wrong with that. Number 4, excessive socializing and not playing the game. Okay, here's what's up. A little bit of bullcrapping before the game starts and a little bit during the game is not a big deal. That's pretty normal. However, if there's too much of it, some of your players are going to start wondering why they even came to the Dungeons & Dragons game if, like, you never play Dungeons & Dragons. When something that should take 1 hour takes 4 hours because of off-topic conversations and checking your phones and sharing cat videos, yeah, that's a problem. You know, I've only ever left 2 games in my life, and one of them was in part due to excessive socializing. So the game was supposed to start at 7 p.m. and it often didn't start until 8 p.m. Yeah, that's not cool. Number 3, not taking care of disruptive players. And yo, dude, you're the DM, so this is your responsibility. At least what I mean by that is that it's your role to take the lead on dealing with disruptive players. There are other players in the game, and chances are that whatever that player is doing bothers them just as much, and they would probably be willing to help you deal with that problem and talk to that player. Anyway, if you've got a weighing rod at your table, you've really got 2 options. You can get him to change his behavior, or you can boot him from your game before he starts causing the good players to leave. Because then you'd be stuck with a weighing rod and no players. So cowboy up and take care of business before your group is left in shambles. Hey, if you agree so far with these top DM mistakes, hit that thumbs up button down below, and also if you disagree, then please leave me a comment and explain why. Number 2, this is a biggie for me, not preparing enough for your game. Now let's be clear, not every DM needs to prepare the same amount because some DMs are a lot better at running low prep games. However, I'm sure that many of us have been in games where the DM has had nothing prepared at all, and the players just kind of sort of wander around wondering what they're supposed to do, and the DM wings everything and does a real bang-up job of it. In my experience, a well-prepared Dungeon Master runs a more satisfying game than an unprepared Dungeon Master. And remember, how much preparation you need to do to run an awesome game may vary from what other Dungeon Masters need to do. But here's a quick tip. Prepare everything that you don't want to improvise at the table. And then everything else you can just kind of make up as you go. But for me, the things that I definitely want to prepare in advance are plot, NPCs, encounters, and maps. These are the things that I definitely prepare in advance. And number 1, the top mistake Dungeon Masters make is being adversarial toward your players. Okay, so what exactly do I mean by this? This is the DM who gets upset when he loses and engineers ways to win more often than not. This is the DM who takes joy, real giddy joy, in killing the players' characters. This is the DM who's always looking for ways to give his players the good old DM screwjob. He changes rules arbitrarily, often to benefit his monsters and hinder the PCs. The DM strips the player characters of their gold, their magic items, and their character abilities for no rhyme or reason. Basically what this DM is doing is that he is personally opposing the players. And you know, the very first Dungeons & Dragons group that I ever quit was because of a Dungeon Master like this. In fact, I made an entire video about not being a jerk DM, so I will put a link to that video up in that card. Remember, I make videos every week to help Dungeon Masters run awesome games, so if you want to level up your game, consider subscribing. If you found this video helpful, hit that thumbs up button and share it with somebody that might find it useful. As always, if you have any questions about dungeon mastering or have an issue in one of your games, please hit me up down in the comments. I am always happy to help. And until next time, let's play D&D.